question I had for this project was, how might a healthy diet affect a teen's athletic performance? I chose this topic because I find that many teenagers work very hard in their athletic activities but are unable to achieve their full performance potential due to a poor diet. Many teens strive to achieve their full athletic potential, and by explaining how a diet might affect athletic performance, I will be able to help more teens on their journey to their athletic peak. Numerous studies found that teens with bad eating habits are more likely to suffer from obesity, fatigue, nutrient deficiencies, and poor cognitive and physical performance at school. By eating poorly, their brain and body are not functioning correctly and they will not be able to perform athletically. The Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry reports that 16 to 33% of kids and teens are obese, and teens within this weight category are more likely to become overweight adults. This is bad for aspiring teen athletes. I will explain how teenagers with poor eating habits can reduce obesity risk by boosting physical activity and making dietary changes. First off, it is important that teens consume a sufficient amount of calories. Not eating enough calories will cause the teen's growth to slow, and muscle development will diminish profoundly. Not eating enough calories will make it impossible for a teen or anyone to reach their full athletic potential. Eating too many calories can also be harmful to someone's health. A large surplus of calories daily will lead to weight gain, and although some of the weight gain will be muscle, a lot of it will also be fat. Since excess fat slows you down and can cause cardiovascular disease later in life, it is important to make sure you're not overeating when trying to achieve your athletic potential. So we've concluded that it is important not to eat too many or too little calories per day in order to achieve your full athletic potential, but it is also important that these calories come from healthy sources and you are getting the proper amounts of macronutrients, which are carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. Carbohydrates are your body's main source of energy and where the majority of your calories come from. This macronutrient is found in nearly all foods such as pasta, rice, bread, cereal, fruits, vegetables, and dairy products. These foods provide you with the energy you need to perform, and the best sources of carbohydrates are the ones which contain a lot of fiber, such as whole wheat bread and fruit. This is because your body stores these carbohydrates until they are ready to be used, contrary to refined carbohydrates, such as white bread and foods with refined sugar such as cake or soda, which begin digesting immediately and often cause an athlete to crash and lose all energy, or they just turn into fat. The only time it would be a good idea for fast digesting carbs to be consumed would be post exercise when your muscle glycogen levels are depleted. During this period, you need fast acting carbohydrates to replenish your muscle glycogen and repair your muscles. It is optimal that these carbohydrate sources are dextrose or glucose rather than sucrose, which is processed table sugar. So, gummy bears would be a good example. Protein is the second macronutrient and the most important for muscle growth. Protein is an important component of every cell in the body. Your body uses protein to build and repair tissues. You also use protein to make enzymes, hormones, and other body chemicals. Protein is an important building block of bones, muscles, cartilage, skin, and blood. Protein can be found in foods such as dairy products, meat, eggs, nuts, and beans. Since muscles are important for athletic activities, eating enough protein is crucial to attain full athletic potential. Since your body can only digest about 30 grams of protein at a time, you do not need to eat too much protein. Eating 4 to 5 small meals a day containing about 20 to 30 grams of protein would be optimal for muscle growth and development. The third and final macronutrient is fat. Although fat may have a bad reputation, it is not as bad as most people think. Foods that provide healthy sources of fat are avocados, nuts, and olive oils. The difference between the fat provided by these sources of food and foods that provide unhealthy sources of fat, such as butter, ice cream, and fried chicken, is that they are unsaturated and are not trans fats. Trans and saturated fats increase risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. They cause you to gain more visceral fat in your abdominal area, which leads to poor athletic performance. Healthy fats such as omega-3 can lower your cholesterol levels, reducing chances of cardiovascular disease and stroke. They also help you to absorb some vitamins which keep your skin and hair healthy. As an athlete, fat is your body's secondary source of energy. After your body runs out of carbohydrates to burn during activity, it begins burning fat. And if you don't consume sufficient fat and your body runs out of carbohydrates to burn, your body will burn muscle, as too much fat can cause your body burning excess fat, disaster, which will slow you down, an aspiring athlete. Make sure you do not overeat fats. Some resources you can use within the community for more information on how a healthy diet can lead to a better athletic performance would be a coach or gym teacher. You could also go to a highly skilled teammate or a renowned member of another team. Your doctor might also have knowledge pertaining to this topic. In conclusion, a healthy diet is essential for a team to reach their peak athletic ability. They must consume the right number of calories and carbohydrates to ensure they have the energy to perform, but are not gaining lots of fats, which would slow them down. They must ensure they eat enough protein for optimal muscle growth, but space their protein consumption at intervals throughout the day and do not eat too much at one meal. In order to reach full athletic potential, they must also choose the right type of fats and consume the right amount so they stay healthy and do not gain large amounts of excess fats. Thank you for listening.